The Drop with Frank and Brian is officially brought to you by Switch Suspension. Switch Suspension specializes in all vehicle chassis components. Lift kits, lowering kits, air ride suspension, wheels, tires, steering, and brake upgrades. They use all the best products from the best brands. And these guys are truck guys. You roll into their parking lot at the shop and they all drive custom vehicles. So they use their products that they sell on their own vehicles. So if you guys are looking for anything for your vehicles, whether you're just starting out or you just need some replacement parts or whatever, give them a call or visit their website, switchsuspension.com.
There you go. That's better.
You can hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, and I'm recording there, and I'm recording there.
Yes, sir.
All right. What's going on?
What's happening?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, kind of a weird one this week.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't had any time to, like, come down from the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's only been a week.
I know. It's like I came home. I had a photo video shoot on Tuesday, which I had to finish on Tuesday night. And then I had a photo shoot Wednesday. And then I was straight to the airport Thursday. And like,
man, you've been going.
Yeah. Usually I like want to give myself an entire week after the show to do nothing.
I know, right? That's usually like a Monday for me back from a show. It's just like Monday, Tuesday, just like, recenter, regather. My week hasn't been too bad. Had Shayne over. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But
how are we going to do that? Are we going to do that before or after this?
I think we'll have a little conversation and then we'll cut to that, and then we'll finish off the conversation.
So we'll have a little conversation, cut to Shayne, and then come back to us.
Yeah, and then finish up and see you next week.
I like it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
All right.
Yeah, so I don't know, I just want to start off so you were out in Kentucky for doing a diesel truck show?
Yeah, it's called MATS, the Mid-America Trucking Show, and it's like the SEMA for diesel trucks.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's a huge convention center inside with all kinds of vendor booths. And just imagine SEMA, but instead of lowered trucks, you have diesel trucks and everything that's involved with diesel trucks, all the lighting, everything. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of... How do you compare it to like our world? It's very similar yet different.
It's very similar. Yeah, exactly. So imagine our world, but then they get in the mini trucks and use those to drive across country.
Go to work.
Yeah.
That's what I find really fascinating about that whole thing. The closest person I follow to that is Herrera Trucking. The guy from NorCal. He's got some dope rides. He's got a couple he's like a dually guy. He's got a 4-door dually. He's got a couple standard cab dualies. But yeah, he's a dually guy. But yeah, his truck is dope. It's like this Peterbilt. It's black. It's low. It's all this chrome. It's sick. Yeah. And then he gets in that thing and he delivers stuff.
Yeah, the amount of things I'm learning in the truck world. Like I remember when I first started filming with Stay Loaded. That's the brand that I film for. I would send them stuff and they're like, "Yeah, don't film those trucks."
Yeah,
and I'm like,
"They're
why?
very specific."
And I'm like, "Why?" They're like, "Because film these." And then I learned the difference between those, and it's like, and then this, and then there's it's just a whole new world. But it's very similar. There's a lot more. I don't want to say more, but there's a lot of pride in that because that's their income.
That's like it's your income. It's like your livelihood. That's like your tool that you use every single day.
Yeah. So the amount of like work that these guys put into making them look good and all that stuff is amazing.
That's cool. And I would imagine like Stay Loaded is a clothing company geared towards big rigs, which I kind of talked about in our conversation with Shayne. Because that's what you were doing. He's like, where's Brian? And it's like explaining where you were.
That's the same place I'm going to be when I'm not at his show.
Oh, he's all cool.
Neat.
Yeah, sounds awesome. But yeah, no, it's a really cool scene, and just it's all the same, like big rigs, mini trucks, hot rods. It's all just a scene. It's cool.
It is.
I dig it.
It is. It is. Yeah, you'll have to one of these events. You'll have to come with me when in California. It's
Yeah, that'd be dope.
the booth, man. Like their booth, the Stay Loaded booth, is like it just makes us look like complete
Amateurs.
These guys are 3, 4, 5 guys working the booth and they're blasting music and they're drinking, and I mean they're having a blast. Like
that's cool. Hey,
like,
we drink and sell shirts and have a blast.
No, it's a total. I know. Yeah. No, it's no, but so the guy Steven, he runs the brick and mortar and manages Stay Loaded out in Ontario, and he was there and he just took a backpack full of t-shirts and he was just handing them out. He would just like see someone with a Stay Loaded shirt on and he was like, hey, good, hey man, I like your style, and he would just give him a t-shirt and like
that's cool. Handing
t-shirts out, and it just it's helping me like realize like, oh, these are some of the things that I need to do with my brand, and so it's getting me a lot of good ideas.
Yeah. That's another thing I was gonna suggest that like it just goes to show you like how different brands run and gives you kind of insight into that, because I think sometimes what happens is we get so wrapped up in what we're doing that we kind of don't take a step back sometimes and kind of like look at it. That's not entirely true, because it shows. I'll do that. I'll stand back, watch the other booths and stuff, just see how things are moving and how people are doing things. Just not necessarily not to like compare or contrast or
no, but just to more to kind of
just to understand how things are flowing.
Yeah, because there's so many things that you don't think about, and you think you have it figured out, and then you see even just down to the little things like how to set the booth up, or to how to display certain things. You're just like, oh, that's a good idea. So we pick, I mean, I'm sure people do it to us too. They look at our booth and they probably go, oh, that's probably not how you want to do it. No,
they're like, that's wrong.
Yeah. No, but yeah. So like, and even they're working with some of the behind the scenes stuff that they're doing for advertising and things like that. It's pretty intense. So I'm trying to like, it's kind of like getting paid and then also
like learning.
And then stealing their ideas, and then
I was gonna say
growing our brand.
I was gonna say, learning and observing, but stealing's fine too. That's cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
Everything is a copy of someone else, of an inspiration. So it's all good.
Yeah. So how did your low life video viewing go last night?
I was gonna start talking about that. One you didn't watch. That's cool.
I was still I was yeah, I know.
I was messing with you.
Why did you start not with the first one?
I don't have the very first one.
Oh, you don't?
Do you have the very first one?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing. A few weeks ago, because like I have all the low life DVDs.
Yeah.
But I was missing the one with Ernie Truck on it, which I assumed was the first one, because I thought the first one, was like not. I don't know how to put this, because it like. So I'm kind of learning all this too. So was Mike and Oliver involved since the beginning?
Yes.
Okay. Because I thought that they came in on the second one. And so that's why I consider that one like the first one of that incarnation. So that's why.
Oh, no. Have you seen the first one?
No, I've never seen. I didn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The first one is like, it starts out with a local punk band in front of the Drew Brothers Customs, because it was like Drew Brothers Customs. They produced it, and then it was Oliver and Mike were partners.
Oh, okay.
And then things happen, and then the second one is kind of where Ernie kind of got involved, and then the third one, like Ernie was kind of involved with most of it, but
yeah.
I
thought that all happened with the second one.
The first one's a trip, because
I see that one.
And I saw you say that it got kind of spicy, and I had remembered. I was like,
dude,
let
me tell you,
yeah,
the sexual tension in those. But then I thought about it. Okay, I'm watching it because like first of all, I've never seen that one, so I haven't seen the other ones in a long time, but I remember the other ones.
Yeah,
so I've not seen anything, and the other ones are the same. But I'm like, wow, this is really intense. But then I remembered, wait a minute, they're all 20 years old, drinking all the time. Like, what else are they going to film?
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's just the lifestyle that was.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
The first one is pretty like, so the first one takes a place in Arizona quite a bit. And
that's what Lindsay said.
Yeah. Trevino's house and it's pretty intense. And I didn't even think about that, about how you were going to play around on that side of it. Cause
I know. Well, I really realize now.
Did you have like a camera set up with the computer screen?
All I did was put my phone on a tripod, and then because the only thing that I have with the DVD drive is my laptop.
Yeah.
And so I just basically just set the phone in front of the thing and just went live. I didn't actually know how it was going to go. Like I said, a few weeks ago, I came up on the first one because I had the other ones, and I'd never seen it before. And I was like, you know, what'd be kind of neat is to just kind of like stream this, like do a screening almost, like like just kind of hanging out with your friends, like watching this old video, which it did. It was cool. But yeah. So I'm gonna take a little more precautions on the next one. If I do it, I don't know. Like afterwards, I'm like.
Yo, this could have got my Instagram account deleted.
I know, right? That's what I was thinking.
I didn't even think about that. I was like, oh, that's a good idea. So you didn't show your face on it. You just were showing the video.
You're right. And then like I would make comments and stuff like that throughout the video. And we had some, drinks along with it. And I had fun. It was a lot of reliving. Like I said, that was when I wasn't really involved that much because that came out like I don't know when it came out, but the other ones I kind of have more of a connection to,
Yeah, because that one, so I think that first one came out in like the very, very first one actually featured Amy's Accord, which is now Glenn's Accord.
Which it's funny because the second one had an Accord that I thought was Amy's Accord, or Glenn's Accord, and then Joey quickly put in, it's like, no, it's not the same one.
Yeah, and I want to say the first one was 2004. And so that one that you watched was...
No, it couldn't have been because... Well, no, it could have been because this one had 2004 Rezo in it. So, yeah, I mean, I was connected to it, but, I mean, I was still kind of new in the scene back then, so I wasn't too connected to it. It wasn't until the later ones, but it's cool. I want to do it again. I am going to take more precautions. I'm thinking about doing a funny little thing where I, like... This is a very loose idea, but have, like, a picture of, like, someone, like, shocked or something, and then just put that in front of the camera
but it's always late, so you can still see. Like, it was funny. I was on the airplane, and when you fly American Airlines, they have free movies and live TV and everything. So, but you just put your phone on the chair in front of you and like clip it in and and watch whatever you want to watch. And I started watching this movie, and I'm like watching it, and then it goes to a strip club, and there's this naked girl, and I look next to me, I'm all. I like turned it off. I was like, I'm gonna watch The Goonies.
I know. I was almost like, because like you don't know who's popping in watching,
Yeah.
And it got a little. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. But I do want to do it again. But maybe I hate to censor things, but maybe it needs a little censoring. I don't know. Because it's a snapshot of that time.
Well, it's a snapshot of this time too, but that just does like. That stuff always happens, but they filmed it back then and didn't care about putting it out on a DVD because it's a DVD. True. It's not like the internet, so there's no censoring it. But I think the later ones didn't have as much nudity in them.
I don't know.
I'm trying to think because like
a couple of them got pretty rowdy. Actually, this one actually this one didn't have any nudity in it. It just had very provocative poses.
Oh, there's no nudity then.
Yeah, there's no nudity. It's not nudity, and I think in the later ones there is, which we'll have to work around. But
the very first one there is for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know that for sure.
I don't know. It was fun. I had fun. The thing that like, and the whole reason I picked up that one because I like I said had the opportunity to do it, and then it's kind of funny. I'll explain what happened. Doug from Creative House, his nephew, put up. I got these DVDs for sale. And it had that one in it. And I was like, man, I don't have that one. So I ended up like buying all of the DVDs for a price, right? And then I was like, well, I already have all these other ones. So I sold all the older ones and made my money back and made money.
Yeah, people want those things, man.
They're getting, well, that's what I was thinking. These things are only like, everybody had them, but now, people got rid of them, threw them away, got lost. Like there eventually is going to become a time when these things don't really exist. Yeah. And I feel like it's like I don't want to say it's like my I don't want to say it's like my duty or my job, but I do want to preserve these things. As wild and wacky as they are, I think they need to be preserved, Yeah,
I don't know. You can just rip them and put them online.
No, yeah, I get that. I get that. But like just that well, I mean, even the essence of having a DVD is sort of like a thing by itself,
Yeah. Because I think the ones I have, some of them aren't even opened. They still have the plastic.
Yeah, most of these have the plastic on them. Yeah, mine are open and stuff.
Did you get the?
I sold 2 Grindr DVDs in that package too.
I know, I saw that. I was like, oh shoot. Did you? Oh, so you do you have all of them now except for the very first one?
Right.
Do you have the special edition one that was sold in stores? That was supposed to be sold in stores. It had Simone, the guy that lifted my Titan. It had his lifted Chevy, and it re-rolled it.
No.
Yeah.
There's another little.
There's
piece
another
missing.
one. So they got approved to like get sold. They were trying to get like into Best Buy, Circuit Cities on the racks. So they had to edit them with copyright free music, and they couldn't put nudity, and there was all these restrictions. So they made it. And so there is one out there, and I think that's the one with Carlos's Corolla.
Oh, really?
Yep. And then it's got Simone's. I don't know if Carlos's Corolla actually ever came out, but we went up into the mountains by Ernie's house, his old house, and filmed this guy in our club, Simone, and he had a big old lifted Chevy HD, and we got doing all this stuff, and it was Simone was driving. I forgot who was in the passenger seat. Gary Stalling from No Regrets was in the back, and this girl she was one of the models for the shoot, was in the truck, and I was like, oh, we should go do donuts real quick to cap this off, right? So me and Ernie were sitting in the truck, like up on this ridge, and they're doing donuts, and the truck just goes boom and rolled on its roof, and then came back over on its side.
No way. And all you guys were in it?
Not us. Me and Ernie were up on the thing.
Oh, you were in the other thing. Oh,
they
I see,
were.
I see.
Yeah, Simone and
shit.
the girl was in it. The model was in it.
Oh my gosh.
And Gary, yeah.
Wow.
And then we tugged it back over, and it was crazy. And that's the DVD that not a lot of people have seen.
Okay. Well, do you have that one?
Nope.
No. So we got to hunt that one down.
That one. So if
The
anyone
other
out there
thing-
has that one, that's
Yeah. Definitely get at it. We'll pay premium price to borrow.
Yeah.
No. Just kidding. No, but the other thing was Ernie's part. That
Oh yeah.
was heavy because like it's kind of, I mean, obviously you're looking at it through a different lens.
Yeah.
But the way it was shot and the way I don't know what they have. I don't know if it's just because it's old, but I mean it's old. The way he's talking, and then like there's this Linkin Park song over it, and Chester Bennington being dead, like all of this culmination of things. It's just like it was really heavy. It was really, really heavy to watch, and I'm like, whoa. And that's the whole reason I got it, because like I said, that's the what I think needs to be preserved about it. But I don't know. Anyway, it was fun. Might do it again.
Hey, you've seen the rest of them though, right? Like I
have them all.
the Greenville trip that we went on.
Well, which is I had to hunt down that one too, because I had that one, let someone borrow it, and they lost it.
Yeah.
So then years later, being in this club, I was like, I gotta see that. I gotta see what all this is about. And it was your trip with all the guys heading out to Greenville. That was the Total Corruption one.
Yes, and then there is one that has a secret menu on it.
Which one's that one?
I don't know, but if you put it in your DVD player or whatever, and then the menu pops up, and it's got the arrow. If you push down, I think once or twice or up, I forgot how you do it, the arrow will disappear. When the arrow disappears, you push play or enter, and it will take you to delete it. It'll take you to other scenes that are.
Oh my god, that's
and
awesome.
and I want to say the very first one is the first time I flew, and you should watch. You should watch this because it was me and Galen on a flight to Florida, and there was so much turbulence.
Oh really?
The whole plane screaming, and it was so. And I forgot the other deleted scenes that were in that, but
I'm gonna hunt around for that.
Yeah, I forgot which that had to have been in the third one, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's fun. Like, you got OLP makes videos where he flips through old, mini trucking magazines, and I just think this is just a part of our history that we just sort of like have to.
Yeah, You could screen it and then take notes of the time.
I'm going to do that next time.
Yeah.
I thought about that exact thing. Like, I should watch these things first, and then make
and the piece of paper comes over the screen like this. And you should make the piece of paper with it looks like a blurry piece of paper, and it just comes down like it's a clear piece of paper, and spray
idea.
a bunch of spray paint on it and just come down.
That's an amazing idea. That's great.
Cool.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do. So thank you for that. So so when I don't got anything going on Saturday night, crack some, hang out. Watch a low life video. Well, and we have low lifes, and I'm gonna do surfaces and grinders and everything.
Yeah, the grinder ones don't have as much they're not old enough to go back. I mean, Yeah, they're not old enough yet. So in like 10 more years, then you can go back and
Then
watch
go
those.
back and watch those. Okay. All
Totally,
right, that's what we'll
totally
do.
different. Yeah, so in 10 years, tune in to Kustom Life as he goes over those.
10 years, I'll be 50 years old. A 50-year-old man sitting in his office watching old truck DVDs.
Yeah, reminiscing.
Yeah, that's what you do when you get old, man. When you're young, you wild out, you go crazy, and then you spend the rest of your life reminiscing about those times.
Yep.
Right?
I always was the guy saying, I don't want to tell the stories about how I used to be cool.
But
I always want to be cool. And now I'm like, hey, remember that time when we did this and did this? And then you look back and you're like, I would never do that now.
right.
And you go, well, now I'm the guy. Now
Yeah.
I'm that guy.
There's a couple parts in that video where, like, even the people watching and commenting were like, "This is wild," and it's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
like, man, this sounds bad," and this is who I don't want to be.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the gatekeeper who says, "Oh, it was better back then," but I definitely things were different back then.
I don't think they were.
Maybe we're just old.
They
and
were
then-
different in
There's
the
kids
mini.
wilding
Well, they were
out right now.
exactly. That's the thing. They were different in the mini trucking scene because all those people grew up and no one replaced them.
That's true.
But this is funny that you bring that up. I forgot who I was talking to, but they were saying something about kids these days or
Yeah,
something
which
something,
man,
and I hate
don't
that
wanna
because
sound that, yeah.
because I did dumb stuff. Things that I could have went to jail for and all this stuff, and like no one got hurt. Someone could have got hurt.
Oh, for sure.
Street races, just dumb things. So when people like look at kids and like whatever they're doing, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we did dumb stuff too. So we got to kind of stop ourselves. Or when they make fun of people, like kids' haircuts. There was someone making fun of some of the guys at LST. What's that? Like they've got like a perm almost like.
Yeah, it's like a
haircut?
mullet with a perm in the back. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone was making fun of that on Facebook or something. And I'm like, dude.
Go
Let me
watch
go
these
back.
videos and
Go-
look how you
Let
look.
me go show you my spiky hair with blonde tips. Okay. Because that wasn't cool. You know
No,
what
I
mean?
know.
Like,
Yeah. No, Look back then and how everybody dressed. Like, that's another thing that's crazy. Just watch how everybody dressed. And Lindsay was like, "What's wrong with all these guys?
yeah.
What was wrong with us back then?"
We were cool.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that was fun.
You're probably going to have to stop your thing real quick. So let's roll into Shayne's.
Yeah. Go watch this.
It's just going to happen.
Just gonna happen. There it goes.
Do you want to introduce it, or did you introduce it on the thing?
I introduced it on the thing.
Okay, go back, and then we'll be back. We'll be back afterwards.
Stick around. Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
Perfect shirt.
I know, right? Look at that. Okay. So I'm sitting here with Shayne, and I won't try to pronounce your last name.
Marckstadt.
Oh, okay. There you go. All right. So we're sitting here with Shayne. Shayne is from a club called Unforgivin Truck Club. And he's throwing a show.
Mini Truck Club.
Mini Truck Club, excuse me. He's throwing a show called I'm a terrible person. There we go. Havasu Meltdown.
We're off to a hard.
Sorry.
We're
Yeah.
off to a hot start.
This is a good one. This is a good one. So yeah. So Shayne, Unforgivin Mini Truck Club, Havasu Meltdown. Tell us about the show.
All right. Where do I start? I guess we could start with the date. April 28th through the 30th. Over at Windsor 4 State Park over in Lake Havasu. Yeah. Freaking, I got some bands, a car show. I got a lot of stuff going on. It's sponsored by Resurrection Customs.
Yeah, Resurrection from here in the desert.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, from down the street.
Right on.
They came on board when we first tried to do this in 2018 or something like that, or no, 2020, because that was the COVID year. So we kind of kept them aboard, and they were still down to do it. So they've been great. Also, other sponsors involved are Ellen Ed's Escondido, Body Drop Clothing and Apparel. And then the radio stations, Rat City, or shit, I totally booked. Is this a family show? Because I'm probably gonna cuss a lot.
Yeah, try to keep it to a minimum, please. Actually, we don't really check our guests. We just check ourselves. So you could do whatever you want.
All right,
we
for
could
sure.
bleep it. We could
Yeah.
leave it. It's fine.
Brian's gonna have a hell of a time editing this. Sorry, Brian.
Well, yeah, and that's one of the things is Brian's not here. So this is actually like kind of like the first. It's kind of like the first time I've done this without Brian. I'm sort of like flying a little solo here.
Oh shit.
So it's kind of something different.
Where you at, Brian?
Oh well, currently he's probably up in the air somewhere over somewhere. He's going.
Is he flying?
Yeah, he's headed out
shit.
to a diesel truck show this weekend
Oh.
to cover it. Yeah, do stuff for Stay Loaded.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What's Stay Loaded?
Stay Loaded? Oh, you haven't heard of it? So it's like it's a clothing brand that is exclusively geared to like truck, like big rig guys.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's huge. Like they I don't know how much I can say, but we know people who are involved in it, and like at first I never heard of it before, and then all of a sudden start seeing it everywhere. Like not just like, you know, since it's like a diesel truck thing, they're like in truck stops and they're all over the place. But anyway, so this is not an advertisement for Stay Loaded, by the way, but it's just like they're everywhere. It's a cool company.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, they do cool art. I don't, like I said, I don't know what I can say, what I can't say about it, but anyway, it's cool. And Brian does stuff for them, and he's out there doing stuff right now.
Yeah, he's working.
I know. I'm very vague. The whole thing is just like everybody's just like, what's going on with that?
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
He's. I know he's a busy freaking guy.
Yeah. So this is just me and you just
Sweet.
talking about your show.
Sounds good.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for it. It's gonna be kind of crazy for me because the weekend before is Mini Nats.
Yeah.
So I mean,
There's a lot of
it's
West Coast people going out to that.
I know, and I feel like I don't want to sound conceited or anything or whatever, but I think we kind of have something to do with that, you know, because we were we're obviously not the first people to head out there, but we were like, you know, going out there so much and talking about it so much. I think we've kind of hyped people for it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and that's been on my bucket list for years. And
I was wondering that you haven't been there yet.
no.
Man, I could have swore. I forget who made it out.
Part of that reason is because of the cancer show that we throw here in town.
No, that's right. And that's the other thing you showed. You throw your cancer show.
Not to kind of like throw in a selfless plug there, but
no. Hey, this is literally what this is all about.
Yeah.
Is you plugging your stuff. So you plug whatever you want.
But the cancer show is always that same weekend.
Oh, okay.
But now obviously with the Havasu Meltdown, same thing. It's but this year it would be a week apart, and a couple of people from the East Coast tried to talk me into going, but this thing is so big.
Yeah, you can't break away
I
from
have
this.
no time.
Yeah,
zero. So.
That's the cool thing about the show that you're doing. So like you said, so this is a show in Lake Havasu, Arizona. And it's a truck show or car show or whatever. I always refer to these as truck shows. I know that they're going to have like a bunch of different stuff there.
Yeah. So for the OGs that have been kind of following this, it used to be called Minitruck Meltdown because it was going to be a Minitruck exclusive show.
I remember that, yeah.
But we had so many people request that we bring in more stuff. And I am just a custom vehicle enthusiast personally, and I would have loved to just throw a mini truck show, but there's a lot of different variables.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Like
the bills is one.
Yeah,
you know? And on the West Coast, man, it's hard to do what you guys do with the Forbidden show. You know, 250 plus, like it's kind of hard to do out here on the West Coast. Like,
yeah, definitely.
The cancer show, well, I think we're on year 8, and we've been flirting with 250 for the last 2 years. So, you know, it takes a long time to kind of like get your brand out, your name out, and obviously Brian knows that. Throwing Forbidden, it probably took quite a bit, you know, but yeah. So, Havasu is a hot rod town. They have a lot of hot rods out there, and I have a lot of like mutual friends out there and stuff like that, and obviously the longer I've been doing this, a lot of people in the city was like, oh, you probably should open it up because this is a hot rod town. They all like to show their stuff. So I'm just a custom car guy.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a mini trucker, don't get me wrong. Been doing this 20 years now.
Yeah, I know.
I was like thinking about that the other day. I was like, holy shit,
I know.
I've been doing this 20 freaking years.
Yeah, you and I go back pretty far too. We've known each other the entire time.
Yeah. It's like straight out of high school.
Yeah.
All accidentally, you know, because growing up in Phelan, California and stuff, going to school in Serrano, And then once I graduated, I actually accidentally came into this mini truck stuff.
I'm the same way. I fell into it. Everybody asked me, not everybody, I shouldn't say, because like whatever, but a lot of people ask me like, well, how'd you get into the scene? And I think they expect me to say like, I saw my first mini truck when I was like 8 years old. No, that's not what happened. I sort of just had some cars, traded around, ended up with a mini truck, and joined a mini truck club. Like that was it.
My story is a little different. So there was a guy at school. He had a body drop Toyota. But I knew what a mini truck was, but I didn't know anything about the scene. I didn't know there was one. I was just like, oh, that's kind of cool, I guess. It didn't even tickle my fancy, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What were you into before?
I wasn't really into anything.
Oh,
car related.
Not really a car guy.
I had a Honda, and then Fast and Furious, I think, came out like right around that time frame. So that was like the popular thing, like watch Fast and Furious. Remember when everyone used to go to the movies?
Oh yeah.
Watch in the movie theater, and it was like, let's go.
I think that movie like had an impact on a lot of people in the scene.
Oh yeah.
It's like our generation's. Like back in the day when they had like Gone in 60 Seconds
the
old ones that like that would influence people back then. I think Fast and Furious did that for our generation.
Yes, Fast and Furious to me is kind of like freaking what is that freaking movie called? I'm drawing a freaking blank. The Graffiti.
American Graffiti.
American Graffiti.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was another huge car movie that influenced a ton of people.
Yes, I
back in
that movie.
Yeah.
It's
like our parents' generation kind of thing.
It is, but man, that's if I'm pretty sure I lived in the 50s, dude.
You saw that movie?
Yeah, dude. That movie is freaking dope. But yeah, that's where I was like, oh, that's our freaking Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
To me, and what's cool about Fast, I think they should have ended it a few years ago, but
like everything else.
Yeah, but whatever. That first one, the whole family and the culture, like that ties into this shit.
Oh yeah,
100%.
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
I think it's really dope, and our as far as our club goes, family oriented. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of that is just based off that, and based off of how I grew into this already with In My World Minis. So,
that was your first club.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
that was my first club. I was in that club for like 8 years, and then created Unforgivin after that.
That's cool.
After like I wouldn't call it a hiatus, but after 2 years of no club, and my wife Ashley talked me into starting it.
So, oh really? That's how that. I was kind of always wondered how that club came about. Did you with that club? And this is like turning it into the interview with Shayne, where we're going to talk about your show.
Yeah.
We'll circle back.
We will be on probably 50 segues.
Yeah. But, I always wondered about your club Unforgivin. Was that like an existing club, or does that started from...
Brand new, from scratch. Okay. There's a little backstory. So when I was in My World, and Gina.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Gina.
Does she listen?
I don't know.
Oh.
We'll find out.
Not a lot of people do.
No. Anyway, so she was the president when I came in. Actually, to kind of go back with the whole accidentally came into this mini truck thing, because of Fast and Furious, I think there was a lot of these Honda meets going on, and I didn't even have a Honda. I had a freaking GMC Sonoma that had rims, but it wasn't lowered by any means, But I definitely didn't fit in over there.
Right.
So a buddy and I, we left because we were just like, oh, we don't fit in. Everyone was doing burnouts and stuff. Two-stepping, I think the kids call it.
Did they call it two-step back in the day? I don't know if they called it that.
I don't know if they call it back in the day. But
they're just revving the crap out of your car.
Revving the crap, redlining.
Yeah,
I think they call it redlining.
Okay, yeah,
There's a movie called Redline too.
Yeah.
That's a shitty movie. But anyway, so we were just like, let's go home, drink beers, I guess, even though we weren't, of age, but whatever.
The statute of limitations is fine.
we kind of bounced from that location, and then I don't know whose cruise night it was. Maybe Showboats or maybe Twisted. I'm not sure, but it was over off of Hesperian Bear Valley. I think that it's a pool place now. I don't know what it was before.
Oh yeah, that was a showboat. That was a showboat cruise night.
Showboat cruise night. Yeah. So we ended up driving through, and I'm like, holy crap!
This is before In My World.
This is before I was
in the scene. Yeah, this is like
Yeah,
a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not even in the scene yet. I have my truck or whatever, but I know nothing about it. I roll by and I'm kind of freaking out because it's like I see like, you know, a bunch of Me Too's, but they're on the fucking ground, dude. I'm like, what? Holy crap! So I told my buddy, we need to stop. Like there's like 5 or 6 of my trucks like on the ground right now.
You're like, what is happening?
Everyone
right
has
now?
an S10, you know.
Yeah.
So we pull over and my truck looks like absolute crap compared to everybody else's, and I kind of just started mingling, asking questions, you know. And Showboat had a lot of really nice stuff, dude.
Yeah.
They had money into their stuff.
in that time, it was like the clubs in the desert, because everybody would host a different cruise night every Friday. So it was like my old club, Twisted Obsessions, your old club, In My World, Showboat, and I think Reality and Style. Was it Reality and Style?
That may have been right before my time.
I think Reality and Style was just starting to like not be a thing, but I can't remember who the 4th club was. But every Friday, a different club would host a different cruise night.
There was definitely a 4th club, but I
can't remember them.
I'll be thinking about that for a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, because every Friday there was a cruise night, and back in the day it was different. You just showed up and you hung out and you mingled. And
yeah. There was no cruise nights back then were way different. There was no like trophies. There was no like, it was just hanging out in a parking lot.
And it was cool to do.
Yeah, it was awesome. Those were great times.
Now everyone wants trophies. And
does everybody want trophies now, or do you think just everybody thinks that they need to give away trophies? That's actually a question that I've had for a while. Like thinking about it, because like it would be just so much easier just to just have a cruise night and just go hang out, you know?
It would be way easier.
It'd be way easier. And then like the trophies are cool. Like I appreciate them and I appreciate the effort that the clubs put into that. But sometimes I don't think it's needed. It would almost like I don't know, maybe I'm speaking out of my lane here, but like take the pressure off of some people, because some people are like, okay, we got to throw a cruise night. Well, we got to have trophies and we got to do this. Instead of just saying like, hey man, we're all hanging out in this parking lot on Saturday, just come hang out.
It would definitely take the pressure off the club hosting it, for sure, 100%. Up here, it's tough to throw.
Up here, it's very hard.
Yeah, and it's really hard to get the guys from down the hill to come up
Oh,
here.
for sure.
So,
well, it's always been like that. But the thing back in the day was there were just more like mini truckers up here back in the day.
oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. And that's why it worked. I don't know when it stopped working.
I know, me neither.
It was somewhere. I think just when Mini Trucking kind of, did this.
Like the magazine?
Yeah, probably.
Well, that was 14. I think it was even before that. It was definitely before that.
I want to say between 2007, 2010.
Yeah, I would agree.
And I only say that because I think in 2006 I stopped doing In My World cruise nights. But remember, they got big. Same spot at Wendy's. Like Mini Truck Magazine ended up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And like the who's who would show up to that.
Yeah, that was about that time period.
I don't know if I started this whole trophy thing, but when we started doing those In My World cruise nights, it was just me, Craig, and Omar. There was just the 3 of us. So we would get a DJ out, and I can't remember what club he was from.
That's a really good question. When did the trophy thing become such a thing for cruise nights?
And I don't know if I started that, but if I did, I'm sorry.
We're gonna blame you.
But I don't remember it before that. Like, I just wanted to do something different. I've always been that way, and I think that's kind of like
that makes sense.
Kind of go dip back into the Havasu Meltdown thing. That's where that stems from. Like,
I see.
To me, I have to be different. I can't be like cookie cutter, and I don't want to copy anybody either. And there's a saying, and I'm probably gonna butcher it, but it's like, I don't like to shit where someone else sat.
I get that.
Does that make sense? So, so that's part of my stubbornness too. It's like this whole music thing
Mm-hmm.
is totally.
Well,
that's
the other thing. So like with your show, Havasu Meltdown is, and that's sort of like what started this whole conversation. So not only is it like a car show, truck show, it's also going to be a full scale concert as well.
Yeah,
with Authority
bands.
Zero. I'm only really familiar with Authority Zero. So what are the other bands?
So Authority Zero is our headliner. Then Chaser, we have Safety Orange, we have Twilight Creeps featuring actor Shayne West for all the ladies out there.
Who's that?
Shayne West was in a movie, so he still does movies. Like, he's still in big movies, but I think the one that people our age would resonate with, especially the ladies, was A Walk to Remember with Mandy Moore.
Nope. I know I'm like a movie. Like I know a lot of movies.
It's a chick flick.
Yeah.
So
I'm not familiar with that one.
So I know there's a lot of guys like, I don't know what that is, but
even if I knew, I would admit to that I know it is, but I know who Mandy Moore is, but I never heard that.
So
movie.
there was a movie, yeah. So when we were in high school, there was a movie called A Walk to Remember, and that was like a big movie.
And
so,
this dude,
this dude was the main dude.
Interesting.
In it, aside from Mandy Moore, and yeah. So. So,
and what's the name of his band?
Twilight Creeps.
Twilight Creeps.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's one of the lead singers.
Mm-hmm. Is that like a rockabilly psychobilly thing, or?
That's a really good question.
I've not heard of them before.
They are a different sound.
Mm-hmm.
But they do play with punk bands. I've never asked them like what's your genre. They're.
I gotta brush up on all this stuff because like when I go to a show, because like I've been going to like a lot of shows lately and a lot of bands, and some of the bands like I recently went to like a lot of the bands that I've been seeing lately. Like I know a couple of their songs, but not a lot. The Pinks played with the Queers like a few months ago, and like I know like the very popular songs, but I don't know anything else. But what I like to do before I go to a show of any sort is I like to like listen to all the music, because when I get there I don't want to be like lost. I kind of want to know like, oh, I know this song, or maybe I know the chorus, or maybe I could like sing along, so
yeah.
I got to brush up on all those
Check them
bands.
out. They're good, different sound. I don't even know who I can compare them to. They kind of have their own thing going on, and they sound good though. They really do. Someone told me, because I posted on Instagram one of their songs, and someone was like, "Oh, that's like AFI or something."
Oh, okay.
But I they just have their own sound though. I don't even know if I would compare them to AFI, but like they sound like their name. Like,
well, yeah. See, Twilight Creeps, I would assume like that's like a rockabilly band.
Yeah, if there's like a medium between punk and rockabilly,
It's them,
because they don't have the
upright bass.
Yeah, they don't have like an upright bass, but their bass. I mean, yeah,
I gotta brush up on all these. I gotta go down those. Like honestly, and I don't mean to like talk down any of the bands that are playing. Honestly, no Authority Zero. That's about it.
I'm not gonna lie, me too. Outside, so those are our four main bands, and then Guilty by Association.
I know who they are. Yeah, I've heard of them. Mm-hmm.
Great guys. I met them. At
That's like
Bowling.
yeah. Okay, yeah. I know exactly.
Yeah, and they're from the Vegas area, and I believe the lead singer grew up in Havasu, so he wanted to really play in his hometown and stuff like that. So we booked them. He's a great dude. Really fun to be around and stuff like that. Another connection with Omar, who's also playing with Paint the Town Rad. And then as far as the OG fans of Omar, he used to be in Break the Cycle out here.
That's what we were before we started like recording. We were talking about all these crazy connections through like the music scene and the truck scene. And yeah, Omar's like kind of like one of those links between a lot of people.
Yeah,
like he knows what's his name from Left Alone. What's his name? I don't know. I forget his name.
I don't know.
Elvis.
Oh yeah. He knows Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it's weird how like there's all these like connections within the two scenes.
Yeah.
Because I've always said, and I've said this a lot before, to me, the punk scene and the truck scene are very closely aligned.
Yes.
It's like you have these groups of people who are the outcasts within their own scenes, 100%. And then they make up this other thing. Like 100%. I've always thought that.
to me, they've always gone hand in hand. And you could go back in the old low life videos, domination videos. It's all punk.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if that's because of the Dragon Destroy area, and it just fucking fits.
Yeah.
You know. To me, it does. Like
Oh,
we
for
did
sure.
a crazy drag session after one of our local friends passed away.
Yeah, I remember
on
that.
the freeway.
Yeah.
And
I didn't go, but I remember it.
his name was Mike Daniel.
Yeah, no,
But,
I know who passed away, but I didn't go to like the after thing.
Oh yeah.
But that was that dude who had the dually and just like totally lit it up down the freeway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We, I played Offspring when I made that video.
Yeah.
Because
it fits. It fits. It's the same attitude, man.
Yeah.
It's the same attitude, and that's why I've always been attracted to both those things. You know, because I never like going kind of talking back about like growing up around vehicles and stuff. Like my tastes were always off too, as far as vehicles and stuff are concerned. So yeah, I think they're very much hand in hand.
Yeah. It's always to me.
And that's cool. Like this show that you're throwing is that mix of those two things. Because like you're like obviously like we've been talking, you're a music guy.
Yeah.
You know, so like obviously you're taking these two like really things that you're passionate about and you're mashing them together, and that's really cool.
Yeah. Hopefully it works out.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, that's the goal.
That's the goal. So like my vision with this is, and like I was saying is, I don't know if people are going to be familiar with these two things, but Vans Warped Tour and Music. So it's kind of a mix.
I never
of
went to a music, but I've been to many Warped Tours.
So that's my goal.
That's that's really cool.
Like not just a mini truck show, and I don't know if people can be like, man, what a sellout, but
Sell out? How so?
I don't know, but because on the mini truck side, just
How do you sell out in the mini truck world?
I don't know.
I want to know. No, I was kidding.
I don't know, but who knows?
I want to sell out.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a sellout right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I really just want music and mini trucks to coincide together. And
you're like perfectly describing what I think I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's how I am. I just want to take these two things that I love and just make them just do stuff.
Yeah. I think other shows in the past have kind of tried to do the music.
Well, I mean, the biggest one that I can think of was Freak Fest.
Yeah, that's where.
Did you go to Freak Fest?
No.
No,
because I was too young. It was
what years was Freak Fest?
I went to Freak Fest when it was at Orange Show.
Oh no, you never went to the Famoso ones?
I know, in
Dude.
Bakersfield.
Yeah, those things were.
But I saw videos.
Bananas.
Dude. Yeah,
that thing was crazy.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry. I just want to just put this point out there. The Freak Fest thing, the whole concert and everything. If I was to like, this might be a stretch, but bear with me, hang with me. I would like try to almost compare it to like an ICP like Juggalo. Think about it, right?
No.
It's like this culture that exists of all these like mini truckers, and we're weird anyway.
Yeah.
And then now you have this like concert thing with all of this other weird stuff going on. And there was some weird stuff going on.
I think you're not too far off because Cottonmouth Kings.
Yeah, Cottonmouth Kings played the second year. Or there? Well, wait, maybe I'm getting it. Were there more than?
They played an Orange Show too, but I believe.
Yeah, for sure they played it Famoso.
Oh, did they?
I know that for sure, but I can't remember if it was one Freak Fest or two Freak Fest that I went to. Because did they have one or two up at Famoso? Was it just the one? Because if it was
just the one. But
okay, I think it maybe now that I'm like putting my brain together, I think it was just the one.
That's the one up there.
And it was crazy. Like it was crazy
because they had. I don't want to speak out of because that that was that guy's show or whatever, but they had freestyle motocross. I do know that
at Orange Show.
No,
up there.
Up there. Yeah,
I don't remember that part. I remember everybody. This is a really weird thing that I remember, but I remember vividly. Everybody brought a 50, like a little mini bike 50.
Oh, they were just like
everybody brought one because apparently there was like a mini bike track there. So everybody bought their mini bike. So everybody is just annihilated on mini bikes. Dude, it was insane. It was so crazy. People were jumping over cars. Like maybe that's what because I don't remember. Maybe I'm misremembering because I don't remember like a metal militia type thing, but I remember people bringing their own mini bikes and jumping over cars.
No, I remember seeing videos of like legit freestyle. I don't know if it was.
Maybe I'm getting a couple things conflated, but
But I do know Edema played.
I can't. All I remember is Cottonmouth Kings. Oh, like I said.
Cottonmouth Kings and I think Edema. So Edema is from Bakersfield.
Oh wait, yes. No, yeah, you're right. That's right. Because aren't they? Yeah, they're like related to the Corn guys, right? Something.
Yes.
There's some sort of.
I think Jonathan Davis's brother is the lead singer.
Yes,
of Edema.
that was it. Yeah. So I do remember. That was the same thing. It was them and Cottonmouth Kings.
Yeah. And Edema was like big.
Yeah.
Like right after that, like on the radio all the time.
Yeah.
They
Crazy.
actually played in Apple Valley.
Oh really?
Like maybe 6 months ago.
Oh really?
And I really wanted to go,
that's
man.
funny.
I was like, freaking Edema, because it's like.
Yeah.
That's like 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
You know, that's some OG
What
stuff.
do you remember? So you said you were too young to go, but so what year was that? I can't remember. Was it like 03?
Freak Fest, I think, was 02.
02 or 03, right?
02 or 03.
Yeah.
And I started doing this right after. Like, right after.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And I remember one of them, I couldn't go. Because I was only 18.
Wow.
I think it was a 21 and over thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think, yeah, for sure it was.
And then the second, or I don't know if it was a second Freak Fest or not, but the next one I went to, I want to say I was 21, and that was at Orange Show. So I don't know if they gapped out.
I honestly think there were only two. There was the one at Famoso and the one in Orange
Was
Show.
there a couple years gap or something?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's all very fuzzy.
Yeah,
but
very fuzzy.
anyway.
All
So
the
this
preferences.
what I was saying is just like, I think that's the closest thing that has ever came to what you're doing.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So originally, so Authorities, there has always been my vision. Like I want them to play. I was kind of going for the nostalgia thing. That way, a bunch of us, 30, 40,
which is most of us,
would really get into the music. But I don't know, I'm a punk guys, and it just came freaking naturally.
Yeah.
That's where all the other bands fell in line, you know, and that's kind of where I had the foot in the door. There's a lot of people like, you know, why those bands? You know, why don't you know? I actually did, by the way, try to reach out to like Big B.
Oh, really?
And I didn't get an answer. So for you rap fans, I tried.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't heard of that dude in a long time.
yeah, he's still putting out music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and good.
He was like, that was like a KMK kind of like type. Yeah.
And some people wanted K&K, and I'm not gonna just.
Are they still making music? I know the one guy does.
I don't know if they're making new music, but they still do play.
Yeah, we talked about that on a podcast a couple episodes ago. The whole era of the mid 2000s, the whole bro culture, KMK. What was the, and I couldn't remember what was the, so KMK was the band, but then they had like a brand. What was the brand? SRH.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
That
was a weird time.
You're talking to an old bro.
Yeah, I know. I am.
I was like the bro with the mohawk before.
I do remember
before
that. Yeah.
It was a bro with a mohawk.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
No, yeah, I remember one of your trucks. I remember your Mitsu. And didn't you have like Rockstar stuff painted all over it? Yeah. Yeah, that was such a mid 2000s.
So bro shit.
Such a mid 2000s thing to do.
And so I was back in the day. I was also like my friend had a clothing company, or my friends, I should say. There were a couple, and their clothing company was called like Outlaws Worldwide, and they were in like Skinny magazine. So when we did they naturally, because I had a mohawk and I was like the look, I modeled for that, and then I was in like Skinny magazine.
That's cool.
And then, not to get away from the mini truck stuff.
No, this is great.
I was invited.
If it's what's funny is if nobody gets what we're talking about, at least this is entertaining me, okay?
Right.
And you, and we're at least entertaining ourselves here.
This is like stuff you don't even know about, probably. And we've known each other a long time. We were invited to Mike Metzger's house.
Okay.
Metal Militia, Mike Metzger, the godfather of freaking freestyle motocross.
Yeah.
Invited to his New Year's party. And that's where this tattoo came from.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got it there?
Yeah, I got it there.
Oh, that's awesome.
At his house, in his art room. Totally drunken,
cool.
thing, But my mom liked it, so that's all.
That's what's up. That's
so
cool.
freaking, but yeah, it's just weird. I don't even know why that came up. But,
no, it's
the
okay.
Bro stuff, I guess.
Bro stuff, the mid 2000s bro stuff.
So
because that was that actually, Freak Fest that was like a snapshot of that time because that's what it was.
Oh, the embodiment.
Was like it was like
for sure.
KMK and like motorcycles and trucks and bandanas all the time for some reason.
Oh yeah,
Black bandanas.
Yeah, I went
You
that
could
route.
actually probably. Me and Brian disagreed on this when we were talking about it because I said my quintessential snapshot of that time was a black lifted F-250. Like everybody had one. He was saying it was a white lifted F-150. And we disagree. I'm like, I don't know, man. There were a lot of black 250s that were lifted. I don't know. That's a really deep cut right there.
I don't know, man, because I just never been in the lifted thing. You know, obviously I have a lifted.
But they were just everywhere. Everybody had one.
Everyone had a lifted truck.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah. And I'm not going to mention the fact that you did drive here in a black lifted Silverado.
I thought about bringing the Toyota, but I was like, how cliche would that be?
Right.
Roll up in this bodied Toyota.
That's funny.
All clunking down the road, all primered out. But yeah, no, I should have. I thought about it.
It's all right. Oh, I was saying, like, for the audience, you're the very first person to do an in live thing here in my office.
Yeah.
It's usually just me by myself.
It's pretty rad, and I find that shocking.
I know, right?
Because I was like, I was like, well, where did you shoot Georgia and Heine? And
Yeah.
like down the hill. I was like, oh shit.
It's a little tight in here. Well, actually,
It's not.
it's
It's
technically bigger than George's office. So, but I didn't want to like you're here, you're local, so it's pretty easy. Like imagine me telling someone like, hey man, you got to come up from like Riverside to to the desert to do this. To be like,
See,
I definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah, so I don't even know how it works. I was like, you know, I don't know if you ask them or if they ask you. Like, so
Yeah, it's just basically people we find interesting and just go talk to them.
yeah. So which is kind of gonna go back a few episodes where I was at work and I was listening to the podcast. You know, hopefully no one at Dr. Pepper listens to this, but I wasn't listening to anything.
You were like, I was working the whole time.
But no, so I'm at work and I'm listening, and then about I don't even know now, but I'd say 20 minutes through, you guys were like, Shayne's gonna come on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And you're like, wait, what?
I was like, wait, let me back up real quick. And so then that's when I hit you guys up. I was like, so you guys want me to come on? And then we had to wait a little bit because of the move and all that stuff with the venues. But yeah, so there was a trip just to find out how
They're
that,
like, oh,
how
I'm
that
gonna
all
have to
ties
do
in
this
together
thing
and
now.
works out. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm down, dude. And you already know. Like when we get together at like a well, I don't know, do we call them runs still?
Like shows?
A
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, no,
They're
I
like
wouldn't
3-day
say
shows.
Yeah, I would say a 3-day show. Runs don't really exist
Yeah.
anymore.
But 3-day shows, you know, when you know, we get together and we'll have a few brews and we just bullshit.
Yeah.
You know? And
Well, that's what this is.
We talk about the past, we talk about now, and you and I are almost the same as far as the music, the mini trucks, like we got like the same
Grew up in the same spot.
yeah, same shitty desert.
Same shitty desert.
But yeah, because you grew up in Apple Valley. You grew up here, right?
Yeah.
And I grew up in Phelan, but I live like 5 minutes away in Hesperia now. I moved away a couple times, but this place just sucks.
I know that everybody. I've never left. So, but everybody who has, they're like, oh, I'm out. I'm like, all right, cool. We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever. That's the way it works out sometimes.
No, it's a love-hate relationship with this place.
Oh, for sure.
Mostly the weather.
Yeah, dude.
So
the wind.
unpredictable. The wind sucks.
Dude, the wind has been killing me lately.
With the dirt and stuff. Like,
yeah.
Dude, can't even work on crap. But, you know, it's where you grew up.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of history here, too.
I do love it.
Yeah.
You know, but I hate it, too, at the same time.
Yeah, I know. Same.
It's really hard.
Now the people listening are like, damn, dude, this is getting kind of sad.
Yeah, they're like, Jesus. They're like going.
You're like, no one
Old
cares.
Town Road. Should play Old Town Road in the background.
But there's a lot of history here and with the truck stuff, and yeah, man, just keep on cruising along. But your show,
Yes.
yeah, man, I'm super excited about it. So like we already talked about the date, so I guess we'll go over one more time. Havasu Meltdown, April 28th through the 30th, Lake Havasu, truck show, concert. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
We have like freestyle BMX.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. We have air cooled equipment. It's gonna be out there. time to wake up.
No time to go get my kid.
Oh shit! We gotta wrap this up.
Yeah, we got time. We got a little bit of time.
Okay.
Not to rush you, but no, hurry up. No, I'm just kidding.
This was dangerous doing this in the middle of the day. You and I. Talking.
Oh, I know, right? Well, this is our usual podcast recording day, so I've had this. I usually have this time blocked out for this kind of stuff.
All right, perfect.
But now we got it a little behind the scenes. So we're filming this right now. This is a Thursday. Brian gets back from his trip on Sunday, so then we have to record on Sunday to get the episode out by Monday.
Oh, shit.
So it's going to be kind of rough. These past couple weeks have been kind of rough. A little behind the scenes, like getting these episodes out, but we're dedicated.
Well, you guys had a show.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah. And then last week we got straight back from the show and just recorded and then put out the next day.
I was like, holy crap.
Yeah,
we're
serious, man.
That's good stuff though. And no offense, but I haven't seen that one yet.
No,
but, I will.
Yeah, for sure.
But I did see it pop up. And I'm like, damn, they already freaking recorded one? Like, I couldn't, like, so me personally, like after because we've never done Havasu Meltdown yet. This is our first year, inaugural. But the cancer show is only a 1-day show, and it wipes me out.
Yeah.
Like I'm everywhere.
We talk about obviously a theme, the main theme of what we do is like custom cars and trucks. Like that's what we talk about. But we find ourselves a lot talking about from our perspectives, like vendoring, but also like Brian's perspective of throwing a show. And you are doing the same thing. You're throwing a show. So it's interesting to see your perspective on it too. That there's a lot of work involved. I couldn't even imagine, to be honest with you.
Well, I can't even imagine with like Brian, throwing a show, doing a podcast, and being a vendor at all these shows, and you're kind of tied into all that because you're doing all that too,
right?
So I can't even imagine that because I couldn't do it. There's no way.
It's a juggling act sometimes, but we make it work.
It's already a juggling act. But I mean, maybe I would have a little bit more time if I wasn't doing the music stuff because the music stuff has been a learning experience.
I bet.
Its own.
We were kind of talking about that too, and we don't got to go into a bunch of detail about it. But you've thrown many like truck shows before, so you're pretty familiar how to do that. Like that's pretty easy, just plugging stuff in. And I'm not to discount the work that goes into it, but you're I shouldn't say easy. I should say you're more familiar with that. Yeah. But now you're like breaking out into this brand new world of the music industry, which I can imagine is only very, very complicated.
Which has been tough.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But I wouldn't have it any other way.
But you know what? Like a lot of this stuff, even like shows, call it shows, podcasts, vendoring, these are all passion projects. We're just passionate people who want to make something fun. And then we kind of talked about it, the episode you haven't listened to yet. But last week we were talking about how, last weekend was so much fun. Everybody had fun. And all the people I talked to, the vibe was good. Everybody was having a good time. And I think what really ties to that is if the people who are throwing the show are having, because like our club, Brian, everybody had a good time. I think that spills over into the actual show. So when people are passionate and they're excited to do it and they're happy doing it, that makes the show better. I think the participants feel that.
100%. And that goes for the club too.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like, so outside perspective on you guys is like, I don't know all you guys, but I know a fairly good amount. I would say maybe 75, 80. And like most of you guys are pumped leading into
for sure.
it.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys promote and promote and promote. And that is freaking rad. When a whole club can get behind you and that helps the show. That helps
for sure.
push the show and helps it be successful too. It's obviously Brian does a really good job already. How many years now?
Since 98? No. Yes. The first Forbidden show was in 98.
So over 20 years. So
I think I think so. Yeah, because the club is celebrating its 30th anniversary, and the club started in 93. So do the math. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, the first show was in 98.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I know. Whatever. It's been a long
time.
A long freaking time.
A long time. But that's saying something.
For sure.
You can't keep doing this if I guess you could, but when your club gets behind you like that, that makes everything so much easier. And it just comes naturally. So I think that's kind of like with the cancer show. It's kind of been that way. And then, this is inaugural, so there's bumps in the road.
Yeah, it's gonna take some figuring out. But
Yeah, they say it takes 2 to 3 years to really get the kinks out, and then it kind of just throws itself. So the car show stuff, I know what I'm doing. Done it a bunch of years. I get how it goes, and they don't all go perfect.
Oh yeah, nothing ever goes perfect.
I think the one thing is the time. You know, in a one-day show, you try to get so much stuff out. We try to jam pack so much stuff in one day, and it gets tough, and we kind of go over and upsets our DJ a little bit. but with that said, like, it's just the little stuff, you know. It kind of runs itself. So that's kind of where I'm hoping. Hopefully 2 to 3 years, this thing kind of does the same.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it grow. I'm always excited to see these other shows grow.
Yeah.
You know, and keep getting better every year. It's always exciting the first one because you don't know what's going to happen, but then every year gets more exciting because you can see the growth. You know, like some shows we've been going to for so long, you know, that it's really cool to see how to kind of think back on how they were and what they are now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, excuse me. And there's not very much out here on the West Coast.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, that's very true.
Just trying to bring one more different vibe, different atmosphere, you know, just a completely different experience too. And you know, you want people to keep coming back. So
yeah, for sure.
Hopefully that's what this is. Pre-reg is still open, I think.
Yeah. What's the detail for that? Is there hotel codes for anything or?
So people can stay wherever they want.
Yeah, because this is not at a hotel. It's at a park.
Yeah, you can stay wherever you want. I will say this: Havasu is a boat town, hot rod town. Like they just like their toys. There's another event, so I would definitely not wait till the last second to get a room. We are gonna.
I did notice that when I booked mine. I looked at it like a few weeks ago, and it was like, I think it was like $100 a night, and then now it's like 140. I was like, I should do this right now.
Yeah, don't wait because those rooms will be probably over $200 at some point, and that's for the lower end hotels. We do have rooms open at the Hampton Inn, which is a stone's throw away from the show.
Is that the one? Because since it's the same one that Reza was at, that's the one that's like right outside of the property.
Yeah,
okay,
and it's nice.
Yeah, I know that. We didn't stay there last time, but I remember checking it out. It's pretty nice.
It is nice. It's a nice place. I wouldn't open up a block if it wasn't. So yeah, Hampton Inn. I believe that is still open. If you could go on the event on Facebook.
What's that?
It's just Havasu Meltdown on Facebook, and then you'll probably have to jot down a couple ways to get the link. But that's all it is. It's a link. You click on it. It goes straight to the lower rates.
Okay,
and
cool.
then you just get your room if they're not sold out by now. And then the pre-reg is $40. At the gate it's $60. Friday is $10 to get in if you're just a spectator. $25 on Saturday, which is basically a concert ticket.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. So that $25 includes the. So your pre-reg. So your pre-reg is obviously the kid in the show and the concert. Is that a plus one or
if you pre-reg with the $40, you're there all day, all weekend, whatever. That covers everything. That is plus one.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
For free. Every passenger after that is $10.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
cool.
That's good. And then kids 12 and under are free.
Cool. So you have like Fridays 10, Saturdays 25, Sundays 10 for spectators. Is there like a deal for all weekend?
Yes.
Okay.
$40 all weekend instead of $45. So you save $5.
Cool.
You get a whole weekend pass if you're not if you don't bring a vehicle or anything. And then of course just go to eventbrite.com, search up Havasu Meltdown. It's there.
Cool.
Hopefully it's not too confusing. We've had a couple of questions, but not too many. We had to do some moves after the move from the previous location. So you might be like, why is that this? But
hey man,
it's pretty
part of the process.
self-explanatory.
Yeah, part of the process.
And then we have short orders too that you could go on to our big cartel. But everything is on
I
the
love the art.
page.
Whose truck is that?
So the truck, that is Big Rob's truck that was in our club and passed away a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
If you remember. So when it was called Minitruck Meltdown, we got a lot of grief because there's a full size on here.
Oh.
And I think those people feel like douchebags now.
Oh yeah, they're like, oh.
Because this is for Rob. So
yeah, cool. Let me just show that.
Yeah, and his truck will be there.
Yeah, for our audio listeners, you got to come over to the YouTube channel, check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Please. But yeah, it's everywhere now, and it's been the same freaking art for the last 3 years.
Yeah, I know. It's sort of like you're like used to it now.
We were gonna do a different. We were gonna add one. I don't want to say different. We were gonna add one because it was always Rob's truck was always gonna be the face of this year. But you know, with this concert stuff's really taking a hold of the funding and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
but it's gonna be memorable, man. It's gonna be memorable.
It will. It's gonna be a freaking party. We have a bikini contest too.
Cool.
So we have so much stuff.
That's awesome.
And like we're trying to like keep it like old school. Like
I had one other question. So where is the concert at the same place or is it somewhere else?
No, same place.
Okay, because for some reason, and I don't know where I got this, but I thought it was gonna be at that Kokomo's place.
Oh no, so yeah, fuck, we should probably talk about that too.
I'm glad I brought it up.
Yeah. So Friday when roll-in is 2 to 5. After people roll in and whatever, if you would like, we're gonna do a cruise around Havasu. We're gonna go over
the London Bridge,
and then go around the island there, and then back over the London Bridge into and then park over near Kokomo's and have a pre-party.
Cool.
Where they'll be DJing, and it's just a really cool party atmosphere if you're down for that.
I remember when the Kokomo's thing that they had for Rezo was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was 20 degrees, and it was still fun.
yeah, that's right.
So, but just imagine it's gonna be April. It's gonna be
nice,
freaking so nice.
Yeah.
You can actually get in the pool. We're gonna have so many like games. They have I call it beach pong. So it's basically like beach ball with trash can, like red.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like beer pong, but with like a trash can.
Yeah.
And then they have like cornhole and stuff like that. So we'll be playing games.
And that's Friday.
Drinking, having a good time. Yeah, that's Friday night, and then basically then Saturday after that. That's like 7 to 10, and then Saturday open to the car show. We'll have the freestyle BMX, and then the concert. So then the bikini contest. Then the bikini contest, and if enough big guys out there want to get in on the big man contest, we'll do that too. And the winner will get like a free 32 pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Right on. That's awesome.
And then it'll go into the concert right after that. Then
cool.
The next day we're gonna open up at like 10 o'clock. Well, roll in will be like 8 to 10, and then we'll finish off the car show and do trophies.
Cool, man. It sounds fun, dude. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for stopping by, letting us know. It was kind of cool. Also doing a little catching up and talking about old times and stuff, which I knew was gonna happen. I was like, yeah, we'll talk about the show, but we're probably just gonna start talking about the old days too.
Yeah, we're probably gonna go everywhere.
Right.
Brian's gonna be like, okay, wait a second, we're gonna have to edit this.
Well, I follow this podcast. And whenever the dude, because he has guests on, so I technically I have a guest on, but without Brian, I'm calling this going boneless. We're going boneless on this episode, just me and Shayne. Well, Brian will probably be in this mix too, so we'll see how Sunday goes.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Right on, cool. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Well, so I think we're gonna jump back to me and Brian talking. So back to that.
Hi, Brian.
Yeah.
And welcome back.
We're
in first virgin territory here. We've never done this before. So we did the intro, we did Shayne, and now we're back, and now we're gonna close it out because we're just about an hour, and then
You're just going to go over show Shayne information one more time. I know he said everything before, but I'll just say it one more time. Havasu Meltdown, April 28th through the 30th, Lake Havasu, Arizona. Pre-reg $40, at the gate $60, and then also for spectators, there's some prices there, so I'll go over those real quick too. So spectators, Fridays $10, Saturdays $25, Sundays $10, or you get the whole weekend for $40. That also gets you a ticket to the show, the Authority Zero show. And for more information, go to havasumeltdown.com.
Yeah, if you're into music, this is the show for you.
Yeah, I'm excited about that part.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be rad.
Sure.
That's my jam. That's what I do.
That is your jam.
I'm a middle-aged man who just goes to punk shows.
Yeah, I think that's most punk shows.
Yeah, it is. I don't know me because Shayne is a huge music guy.
Yeah.
And that's why, that's why he's putting this whole thing together. He's taking his two favorite things, just like, like I like. And it's funny because we were discussing about how truck shows is just like, sort of like our generation getting older and kind of just still going to truck shows. The punk scene is the same way.
It is.
I've been to a lot of punk shows in the last like year or so. There are very few young people there. It's all my age people hanging out.
Yeah.
And it's kind of an interesting, like, just like we were talking about before, like the whole big rig thing. Like they're these different scenes, but the same kind of vibe. The punk world is the same way. It's just a bunch of middle-aged punks.
Yeah, because
watching their favorite bands.
Yeah, because I mean I haven't gone to like a punk show in a while, but I've gone to some pretty hardcore, not hardcore, but you know what I mean, some shows. I'm just like, these people are all my age.
I have a funny story for you. Since last week we talked about the show, I didn't really get to talk about it. Yeah. So the weekend before the show, I went to a Pink's concert show, and they played with Voodoo Glow Skulls and TSOL. TSOL is great. They're kind of older than me, so like I know them, I know their songs, but they're not really part of my fabric. But Voodoo Glow Skulls, being from Riverside, growing up in Southern California, seeing them in different places, like that's part of my fabric of who I am. So we go to the show, we watch the Pinks, they rip, they kick ass. Voodoo, another band comes on, I don't know who they are. Voodoo comes up and me and Angie went, and she goes, let's get to the front. I'm like, yeah, cool. So I go to the front, and I have a beer, and so they start playing. I immediately get crowd killed. Do you know what that means? Like, I just like get hit, and my beer just flies everywhere, and I'm just like covered in beer, and I'm like, okay, all right. And then so it starts going in the pits, like right behind me, since we're in the front. And I'm like, participating, kind of like keeping the pit over there. And then I don't know, something came over me. And the Holy Spirit said, Frank, you need to get in this pit. And I got in that pit like I was 18 years old. I get in this thing. I start going around a couple times, jump out, catch my breath. I'm like, I don't want to get my hat sweaty. So I take off my hat, hand it to Angie. I jump inside, start going around. I'm like, oh, my sweater's too hot here. I jump around. I am shirtless. I am shirtless, hatless, acting like an idiot in this pit. It was great. I had so much fun. I came out. I was like, I'm standing on the side. I'm all,
oh yeah.
And I'm like, that was so much fun. That was so much fun.
The last few shows I've been to, they've been pretty big pits, but we're kind of in the stands behind the pits, not in the floor seats, and I'm just looking at it, and I just start to get pumped because that's all I used to do.
I know,
like
right?
I have broken teeth from pits in my mouth. No. So like, and I'm all, and then I have to scale back. I'm all,
you have to stop yourself.
I'm all, no. I said, if I go, like, I'm going to hurt myself. Like all I can think about is a rolled ankle.
Oh yeah.
I have to do it one more time before
dude, it's like, it was so crazy. It was so much fun. But I think it was just because that band too, it's like, I don't know, man, the music's just pumping
they're
and
amazing,
people are flying around and it's just like, everybody's like in a really good mood. Yeah. Even though you're running around punching each other in the face and shit, like, everybody's having an amazing time. So it was a lot of fun. But I meant to tell you that a couple weeks ago. But this was perfect. This actually makes more sense telling it now than before.
Yeah. Yeah. I almost wish I would have got floor seats for the Blink 182 Turnstile show.
Yeah. Dude.
But
like, Blink is going to be cool, but Turnstile is going to be awesome. They're so good.
Yeah. They're two totally different bands.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
So, which is going to be amazing. All together. I just got also, this is like a 90s, early 2000s pop punk tour. The next with Blink 182, and then I got tickets for Offspring, Sum 41.
Oh, really?
Newfound Glory, I think, is playing with them. I'm just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
That's so great. That's so cool. Yeah, me and Shayne, like that. So for context, that interview with Shayne happened a few days ago. So I kind of forgot exactly what we talked about, but I think we did. We talked about music and like just it's awesome. It's great. It's really cool.
It is. This show's going to be super fun. So
yeah, so go check it out. Like I said, info HavaSuMeltdown.com.
All right. Yeah. And that's
all right,
it.
cool.
Oh, and buy stuff from our website.
Buy stuff from our website.
When is that contest over?
I think we said the 28th of April. So we got like one more month.
Yeah. We got to start.
And we've been
slacking on pumping it out.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's
I was
just
just
because
about to say that. I've been so busy.
I got to inventory stuff and then.
Dude, we have 2 weeks until Wheels Up for Mini Nats, and I'm just getting on reprints right now, just from the show being last weekend, catching up to other stuff this week, and now it's in like a cycle.
I know.
It's a never-ending cycle.
We'll have some updates next week.
Yeah, cool. All right, livelifecustom.com, grinder-tv.com. We're giving away a switch manifold and switch box. Go enter to win.
Yes, go enter to win. Buy stuff. Bye.
Later. Bye.